Welcome to the English grammar class. This lesson is about voice, active and passive voice of the simple past or past indefinite tense. I'm going to show you the formula. This is the formula: active voice, second form of the verb. Negative, did not plus first form of the verb. Interrogative, did plus subject plus first form of the verb. The passive formula is was or were plus third form of the verb. Negative form is was or were not plus third form of the verb. Interrogative is was or were plus subject plus third form of the verb. Was should be used with persons like I, he, she, it, singular noun. Where should be used with persons like we, you, they, and plural nouns. Let us also learn the pronouns in their subjective and objective forms. The subjective form I is changed into me in the objective form. We is changed into us. He changed into him. She changed into her. They change into them. It will remain the same as it. You will remain the same as you. Some important rules. The position of the subject and object will be interchanged. A subject is a noun or a pronoun which comes before a verb, whereas an object is a noun or a pronoun which comes after a verb. The verb will change according to the formula of the tense. Both the negative and interrogative forms will remain the same in active and passive voice. Now let us learn how to change into passive voice. The formula is was or were plus third form of the verb. Here are some examples. Number 1, active. I forgot my umbrella. I is the subject, forgot is the verb, my umbrella is the object. Remember, we have to change the position of the subject and the object. Now let us begin in the passive form. Take down my umbrella. My umbrella is singular noun, so we have to use with was. Then the third form of forgot is forgotten by. And then I will change into me. My umbrella was forgotten by me. Example 2. Active. He gave me a book. He is the subject, gave is the verb, and there are two objects, me and a book. We can start with any one of the object in the passive voice. Now let us change into passive voice. And let us start with me first. When we change me into subject, it will become I. I should be used with was, and the third form of gave is given. Take down a book and then by, and he will change into him. I was given a book by him. Or you can also change like this, and you can begin with a book. Let's start now. A book was given to me by him. Example 3. Active. Did you see my dog? This is question form. My dog is singular now, so we have to use with was. Now let us change into passive voice. Since it is question form, we should begin with was. Take down my dog. See, third form is seen by. Take down you. Was my dog seen by you? Question mark. Example 4. Active. Who taught you Hindi? Who in the active voice will change into by whom in the passive voice. Here the object is you. Remember to use it with where. Now let's change into passive voice. By whom were you taught Hindi? Example 5. Active. Why did they beat you after all? The sentence begins with interrogative words why. When it begins with interrogative words like why, when, where, how, etc., we have to take down as it is. Now let us change into passive voice. Why were you? The third form of beat is beaten by. They will change into them. And then take down after all. Why were you beaten by them after all? We have just learned how to change active voice into passive voice. Now let's learn how to change passive voice into active voice. The formula is second form of the verb. For negative sentence, we have to use did not plus first form of the verb. And for the interrogative, we have to use did plus subject plus first form of the verb. Here are some examples. Number 1, passive. The shoe was brushed by him. Here the object is him, and when we change into active voice, him will change back into the subjective form he. Now let's start. He, then the second form would be brush, and take down the subject as an object now, the shoe. He brushed the shoe. Number 2, passive. A new bike was not bought by my father. This is a negative sentence. We'll change back into negative form in the active voice. Now let's start. My father, and the formula is did not plus first form of bought is buy. A new bike. My father did not buy a new bike. Example 3, passive. Were you asked many questions by her? This is question form, and the object here is her. The subjective form is she. And we have to use the formula of did plus subject plus first form of the verb in the active voice. Now let's change into active voice. Did she, the first form of ask is ask, ask you many questions. Did she ask you many questions? Example 4, passive. How was this school run by you? This is also in the question form. It begins with interrogative word how. We'll take down how in the active voice. How followed by did. Take down the object you as a subject now. Run this school. How did you run this school? Example 5, passive. By whom was this job done so accurately? The question begins with by whom. By whom in the passive voice will change back into who in the active voice. Let's begin. Who, and the second form of done is did this job so accurately. Who did this job so accurately? There are also some tricky questions. Example 6, passive. The thieves were caught in the market. Here the sentence does not have any object or doer of action, so we have to find any suitable object which can be related to the subject, that is the thieves. What will be the suitable object for this? Let us use the police. Now let us change into active voice. The police, and second form of cause is caught again. The police caught, take down the thieves in the market. Number 7, passive. The students were given homeworks. Here in this sentence, there is no object or doer of the action. We have to find again a suitable object which can be related to the subject, that is the students. We know that students are related with teachers. Let us use the teacher. Let's begin. The teacher, second form of given is gave the students homeworks. Now we have learned the formula of active and passive voice of simple past tense and how to change into passive voice, as well as how to change into active voice. Thank you for your attention. I'll be back. Till then, bye.